So basically, Building Legacy. This is the book. There was a country by a personal history of Biafra, Achebe, Chinu, CHINUA, Achebe. This man, he's a beautiful man. But he was the Biafra history. I think this thing is gonna change the whole system if I do it correctly. If I do it with the proof system, the return of wishes, and the reach of the return. No promises, no excuses, no nothing, no bureaucracy, no talking. Just mathematical of proofs that systems coherence. Because I'm a computer scientist. I'm the modern Philip Emeagwali, and I must act like it, because I'm Mensa. So basically, this is the book I'm looking at. It's called The Rivers of Country. So my book, my last one, Matchless. What a man! What a man! This man is matchless. I'm gonna write my last one. But the first two are practice exercises. Like, there is a country. There is a country. OBINexus Heart Collections. There is a country. It's referring to the OBINexus Oha, your public life to work model for breath. Like a escalator vector model, the life and work are vector, and the breadth is just the default scalar. They can scale, it's heterogeneous, just a homogeneous slash heterogeneous model for different problems. This is the book. On the blog it says, it has the tense narrative, group of the best fiction. It also has revolutionary entry into the intimate character of the writer's brilliant mind and bold spirit. Achebe has created a new genre of literature. I'm gonna be basically I'm trying to encode myself into history, but I have to not die because today I have to get food. The 9th of today is the 8th of November 2025. This is gonna be a 5 minutes video only. The definition experience of Achebe's life was the Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, which was infamous for its savage impact. You guys are savages in Africa. You don't understand savage. When there's a lot of resources, in Africa, you guys in UK are fighting for bare minimum, food, everything. That's nothing to us. That's everyday hustle for us. So I'm going to do it. Because I'm going to get food from the A&E. If they say no to me, I have a backup plan. I can go to the food bank today, but I have 5 minutes to do it, to finish doing this, But you guys in Nigeria, you don't have E&E, accident and emergency, accident and an emergency. You don't have an E&E, guys. You don't have that. Everything is fragmented. It's either you get or you don't get, and you never do get. What if a backup plan? Everything's half. If you go to the food bank A&E in Nigeria, you get half. And then that's what then get other people half. And then when you go to the my backup plan, where is the other one, the food bank, then you get half, and that's your full meal for the day. If you mess up, you eat for half a day, you go sleep with the other day. Guys, I'm putting reality for you. But the pound was equal to the Biafra. I think I should do some reading for today, before it gets to 5 minutes. The definition of experience of CHINUA Achebe's life and the Biafran Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, which was infamous for the savage impact on its people. For the most 40 years, Achebe was silent in terrible time. This took down its constitution. You have to keep silent because it doesn't matter about human rights, but they can kill you if you keep quiet, because they even know you are in the war, even, but they can kill you just for looking just a certain way in this country. Until you produce his towering recording with one of the most powerful African faithful event, a marriage of history, remembrance, poetry, and vivid first-hand observation. There was a country. There is a country still. It's just fragmented, broken, look like Nigeria. It's a work of wisdom and compassion for one of the greatest voices of its ages. Engrossing and eagerly from a master storyteller who has witnessed the undiluted fortune of a nation. The Guardian. Song from the Guardian. Because this is a history. This is a book of history. This is something. This is a book of history. Just like a blend. Oh, my voice is there. I forgot it. It's here actually, but I don't really look at it. Because it's not like a popping up. It's not like UI. I haven't really made it. A blend of history, overview, personal memoir, a memoir. A tribute or history. This is a memoir. Kids don't know what a memoir is. Basically, a memoir is like a writing. Like you put it. Basically, if you write a memoir, I can write a good memoir, but most of them are bad. Because the first person that accounts of stories. But this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. Remember, there's no positive memoir. I'm gonna write the first positive memoir, which is why it's it's gonna be Man One, OBINexus, One Season 4, Build Your Realm, the Rebuilding Biafra, the Blood, Sweat and Tears book series. I'm thinking of beginning, middle, end, but I'm thinking of them as fragmented. So I'm thinking of just when I get a book, I'm thinking of you guys because I'm thinking like of you guys. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I just want to take a book from the shelf and read it. So that's what I'm thinking about. It's a series of books, so I can just defrag it, based on my system. I can write the book very well. A blend of historical, 5 minutes up. A blend of historical overview. Personal memoir, okay. ACHEBE and political manifesto, fascinating and horrifying. Guys, you can learn from this book. I can look at this book and say, this man, but he had to write it because he's a writer. If he didn't write this, he's not a writer. But the writing thing, then you just gotta write. No matter, I bet there's a lot of tarashing in this book. But he wrote it down. Why? Because he had to preserve history. He has to preserve the truth for his people. For Igbo people. There's an Igbo man writing it. Guys, if you don't know colorism, no, anybody that's white can write an Igbo book. But that's not the memo. It's like you're gonna stand book writing. When someone has a first person account, that's the best point of contact. It doesn't matter how the court see it. It doesn't matter the framework. Whether they see an alien or don't believe in alien, it doesn't matter. The first person writer's perspective is whether it's fragmented, ugly like my writings, but for that's what you get. It's just what you get. It's not because I have to write well. It's because I'm in distress. That's why I give you guys. So you have to take that and say, oh yes, this is how we continue the will. Moving on. ACHEBE moving accountability onto the wall, laced with anger, but to the abiding tone of regret for what Nigerian might have been. So it's basically the thing is to make you fear until you get so what you don't even know. It's psychological manipulation, exactly. But you guys, let me just first read some chapter from it before I go. 10 minutes time. There was a country. Life in Biafra. No, basically these are the chapters. I can read the chapters. The thing is you don't know this, but you can actually read books to each other. On YouTube. You can read books on YouTube to each other. Let me just read the first chapter before I. This is a map of Biafra. This is my country. So you see the country of Biafra. That's it. You see that one there? That one here. That one here. The Republic of Biafra. Let me show you guys. Probably. This is where I'm from. This is Nigeria. But Nigeria is not a country. It's a colonial state owned by the war. Cameroon. This is the Republic of. This is 1967. But the war's almost 50 years raging. But it's started in 1960. It's not 3 years. It's still going on. That's why. That's what there's a Biafran controlled territory. We did, we tried to do well, but Philip Margaret wasn't directly involved in the war. But we have to do well for ourselves, because I understand when something is true, because I know something is true because this guy is explaining in such a way that it cannot be true. It's like basically the information is enough to say yes, it is true. That's what I'm a writer. I try to give as much information as I can in the limited time I have. That's what makes me a good writer. That's what I'm saying. So for me, the writing framework, I can give all the distress I write, but if I put I want, if I've done something and it's not coherent, that's because I didn't have the time, and that's not because I didn't have the time, or not because I didn't have the interest. But what I believe makes me a good writer, guys, is you keep writing and you keep hitting the benchmark that what other people can understand. It's kind of like you understand it, but you can encode everything, but you want the people you want to understand it can understand it. People who don't want to understand it don't understand it. That's what writing is. You can use it to encode based on oral skill. But I'm saying to you, what writing really is. I can say a bunch of complicated stuff, jargon. You understand it. It may not be for you. But that's not for someone else. I'm not writing for you. That's why you go informal writing. That's what I'm saying to you. There was a country. But pioneer. This is what she's showing to our children. Everyone here, pioneer of a new frontier. Basically this is the first chapter. This is not the first chapter actually. This is not okay. My father was born in the last. Yeah, actually, basically, it's better for me to read it to myself because I can relate to myself. In the voice. Let me just read the first page before I go, and then I'll finish the first sentence. Okay, let me read the first 2 paragraphs. And then I'll go. My father was born in the last third of the 19th century, an area of great culture, economics and religion upheaval. In Igbo land, his mother has died in her second childbirth, and his father, ACHEBE, a refugee from a bitter civil war, did not long survive his wife. As my father raised by the maternal uncle Udo, it was this material uncle and as fate would have it, will receive it in his compound. Oh, guys, the word compound. Guys, that word compound I'm talking about. See, it's here. Compound, compound. Can you see, guys? It was maternal. Oh, as his fate will have it, received his first compound. Oh, guys, compound. The first party of English clergy in his town. The new arrival missionaries of a new religion, Christianity, have really conquered the Yoruba heartland and were expanding their foot into Igbo land and the south. Oh, guys, mercenaries. I'm tired of them. You mercenaries, don't come to the Igbo. I don't believe in religion. You're gonna work here. You know, don't wanna. I don't want. Basically, listen, I'm just reading to you. I'm just talking my own opinion. You know, if you don't want to watch this, don't listen to my own opinion. But I'm just being honest. I'm not being rude or anything. Because I'm Igbo. The new arrival military. You gotta be the authentic. You don't have to be angry or anything. You're being authentic. You know, does he actually? Is he actually true or false? He could be lying, this guy. You know, but the goal is to read the book and understand you for yourself. Christianity, basically, the bioinformatics, like, you know, this is how things are done. This is how process works. So it's a solid framework. It works as intended. You know, that's why biological informatics matters to me. You only wanna okay. It was Machiro. The second, the mutual Christianity had reconquered the Yoruba heartland and was spanning through to Igbo land, and the rest of southern Nigeria was the potent, irresistible tone of evangelism and education. Sonic of evangelism. A story is told how Udo, a very generous tourist man, finally asked his visitor to move out of the public program onto account of their singing, which he considered too dismal for a living man's compound. He did not discourage a younger nephew from associating with the singer. My father was an early Christian convert and a good student. By 1904, he was deemed to have received enough education at St. Paul's Teachers College in Aqua. Oh, okay. You know, basically, you got the map. So basically, check the map, see, guys. You know, guys should not be angry. This should be. You know, if you want to be angry, read it as fiction. Like, you know, read it as fiction, and then justify it. You know, justify it. That's the best advice. You know, I'll give you, because you might be lying. You know, because you know this is an old book. You know, and that's why I'm quoting old evidence. This is a very good book, guys. You know, I gotta be honest, guys. My father was an early Christian. Oh no. Oh, guys, I have to stop now. Basically, I've just read the end of the paragraph. You know, the paragraph 1. And this is paragraph 2. I'll continue when I come back and fulfill it, because I was gonna finish that one. But this guy is where I stopped, just like paragraph 1. Thank you, sir. You see, he's talking to me in my head. I don't know why, but I think it's because of my heritage, my Uber. This guy, that picture, you sit on a car. This is Uche's car. This is like, you know, and it's like, this is a car. It's a motor. We had motor. But you know, we can basically, the law, basically, this was normal in Nigeria. You can still do this because the law allows you to do it. Honestly, if you're a child, you can still do it, but you have to be one adult. You know, you can do it in trades because there's no law around it, because there's too fragmented. You know, you can be in a vehicle, you know, but this is still allowed because you know, it's not about fighting the war. It's just like for me, we even learn to use this to strategize. You know, because you know, I can be on the hood, you know, waiting for this car to open. You know, because you know it's fragmented. You know, the environment, and that's what kills people a lot. The fragmentation and the ambush and everything. You know, there's a lot of bush. So basically, you gotta have open eyes everywhere. You can't just drive a truck all the way. You know, I know what I'm saying to you guys. So this is one good book. You know, I love this book. I'm gonna read it, but you know, I have to read it with time. Have time to read it. I read it like 20 minutes. I'm happy. 20 minutes I'm happy. Then every day, morning and evening, and that's fine. But you know, I can read on top of it if I get interested, like 20 minutes extra if I want to get interested. You know, and that's what you should read. That's how you should read interesting books. You know, especially things like Harry Potter. You know, for me, this book is like history in the making. Was in the making, but it failed. It was like the rebirth of OBINexus, but for Uche. You know, people need to rebuild the infrastructure. You know, I don't care if anybody tells me not to do anything.